been building up the blocks like a man. Elliot got water dripping out the ceiling. Oh my God, boy, he got a Glock. Oh my God.
Guys, hiyo sasa ndo utamu wa Subaru. For today I have two N14s. I have Greyhound and I have 007. Anajulikana kama KCJ 007 E. I don't know the name, but sasa si mnajua Greyhound. Si imekuja kwa channel mara kadhaa. Aya, let me show you the difference between the two cars. So these are the two cars. They're both N14s. Well, this is a purely factory N14. This one is a GH2, but that was swapped to a full N14. So it's a N14 manze. But this is an STI. This is how an STI should look. Completely stock. This is a stock STI. That's how it looks. And then on the side, kuna Greyhound. Okay, this is the engine that it comes with basically, but it's not stock. So I'm going to explain the differences between the two, the different types of blocks they have, the different type of turbos they have, and explain like what Subaru tried to achieve here. So we're going to start with the WRX, and I'm going to show you everything that came with this car. Well, assuming like you bought this car as a WRX, but it has everything that a WRX has. The difference is just it was swapped. So this is a GH8 engine. It came. That's the code they gave it. It's a GH8 engine. GH8 for the chassis that came with the WRX, or GH8 engine. It's an EJ20, and I'm going to give you the facts about this car. So this car, it comes with a VF47 twin scroll turbo. Twin scroll turbos means that it has also equal length headers. So it doesn't have the Subaru rumble, but it just sounds good. Yeah. So with the WRX now, the difference is the WRX came with a high compression. It's a high compression engine. The compression is like compression ratio is 9 to 4 to 1. So it's a VF47 twin scroll turbo. VF47, it's turbo. Subaru turbos usually placed over here. Stock it will come with an intercooler over here, but this one has been done piping to come to the front. It has a front mount intercooler that's right over here. So yeah, and an intake that comes over here. So it's not stock. Now, assuming it was stock, this car should do like 250 horsepower and 333 newton meters of torque. Peak power of this car hits at 6,000 RPM, and the peak torque is 2,400 RPM. So power comes on early, and you can shift like at 6,000. So you're safe, and it's a strong engine. For Greyhound, I've seen it's a strong engine. This car has been revved out so many times, but since it's a high compression, it means that you can't run like a lot of boost as compared to an STI. Now we'll get to the STI in a moment. Other than that, it's a 5-speed manual. It usually comes with a 5-speed manual. Now the difference, I also want to talk about one thing. Now assuming, okay, this is an STI, but it's an A-line. This is an A-line STI. Now you can't tell from the front because the normal one, okay, the EJ20, this is the EJ20 and the EJ25. So this is the EJ25, the EJ257, and there's the EJ207 that comes with a 6-speed. The EJ20 that comes with a 6-speed. The 6-speed, okay, here in Kenya, we got 6-speed EJ20. In the US, they got EJ25 6-speed. Now here in Kenya, we got a EJ25, but it came with A-line. Now these EJ257s produce 300 horsepower. It produces 300 horsepower. And let me just show you the torque right now. Oh, and guys, gonna stop at Siri, but this app here that I'm using has accurate figures. So everything that I tell you here is educative. Like you can also learn. So over here with the STI, this is a GRF because it's an A-line. If it was a EG20, it would have been a GRB. Okay, so GRF, this is a GRF. It comes with an EJ25, and let me show you the specs of this car. So that being a WRX, it's an EJ20. This is an EJ25. So which means the cylinder bore is bigger. So this is 99.5, and the stroke is 79 millimeters. So the compression ratio of this car is 8.2 to 1. So it's slightly low compression, not as low as that. That's high. It's slightly low, but if it was the EJ20, it would have been just 8 flatter. So it's lower. So which means with the EJ20, that's why the EJ20 you can run higher boost as compared to the EJ25s. So high compression, low boost, low compression, high boost. So this car comes with a VF48. It's a single scroll turbo. Now it being a single scroll, now if you want to know a VF48, I don't know if the camera can pick it up. but IHI now STIs come with IHI turbos, but not only STIs. There's some legacies that came with a IHI turbo, but the VF38, but that's a small turbo. This is a proper STI turbo. This can give you like this turbo. I know this turbo can do 1.5 bar. When tuned, it can do 1.5 bar. Now as compared to the VF47 on tune, we've been able to do like 1.1. It can't go past there. Now we have to go like better upgrade, like a bigger turbo. Now with bigger turbos you have to do like injectors and all that. Now with this one you don't have to do a lot. This one with the turbo itself you can do 1.5. Now stock this car comes with 300 horsepower and 350 newton meters of torque. Now if you just do an ECU tune vizuri kidogo kidogo tu. Now the thing about EJ25s is you have to tune carefully. Ukitune vibaya, engine gone. Utasikia sauti ya crankshaft. Na hiyo sauti ibambi. So yeah. So peak power on this is 6,200 RPM. That's where you get the peak power. Now if it was now again, the difference between an EJ25 and an EJ20 with the STIs is with the STI, the EJ20, the red line is higher. The red line starts at 8,000 RPM. Now this one starts at 6.5. Actually 6.5, 6.2, yeah, somewhere around there. You can't rev it as much. So yeah, that's with the STI. Now another difference is, okay, if that was stock I would have shown you how, but I'll insert a picture of how a stock WRX engine looks like. Now a stock STI, if you can show them, this is how a stock STI looks. Look at how clean this engine bay is. You can tell how an engine bay is clean by just look at the pipes. He only changed this because the car was heating up too much, but everything else is stock and it's really clean. Now an STI comes with a top mount intercooler, but it's bigger than the WRX and it's a red top. Now ukisikia watu wakisemanga red top, this is what they mean. Red top, genuine red top. Hii japigwa rangi yenye inakaa funny. Now you can tell, by the way, you can tell a genuine red top na color. Ukiona color inakaa tu hii it sounds funny, hii unachana nayo. Now that's when it comes to the engine. Now another thing with the EJ25. Now I used to think the EJ25 is an open deck, but this is a semi-closed deck. Now semi-closed deck, all STIs from the N8 moving forward, they're all semi-closed, it being the EJ25 or being the EJ20. Now semi-closed means like okay, there's an open deck, there's a semi-closed deck, and there's a closed deck. Now the difference is, with an open deck, there's more spaces on the cylinder walls for coolant to pass through. For the semi-closed, there's slightly smaller spaces for coolant to pass through, but the cylinder walls are thick. That's why now for an STI it has to be thick because of the type of power that it runs. Now with a closed deck, it's completely closed with small spaces for the coolant to pass through. But now with the closed deck, it's the rigidity. It's a tough block. Okay, semi-closed is also tough, but the closed deck is way tougher. That's why when you get like a closed deck, you can do like proper high boost kabisa vile unataka. But imanishi pia engine wezi kufa, you can kill it. Any engine can die. How stupid are you to kill the engine? Now if you have an open deck, it's easier to kill. Semi-closed, that's why if you take like a stock N10 block, or not even just, okay, N8, N10, N12, all the way to the VAB, those engines with the EJ20, I've seen people do 380 wheel reliably. Na zikufi. Again, depends with the tuner, but it can do that. But that's with the, now you can't do that with the WRX. Another thing with the manuals, they came with a 6-speed. The 6-speed has a transmission type. Let me show you the code. Now this being an educative vlog because it's a different type. Najua my Subaru people lazima tujue kenye tunaongelea, si ku yap tu kwa group na ujue kenye unaongea. So let me show you what I'm talking about. Now with STIs, they come with this is the code for all 6-speed STIs. It's a TY856. Now TY856, this means it's a 6-speed. Now 6-speeds are not all the same. Unajua ukisema oh by then iko na legacy, iko na 6-speed, bro. If it's not the TY856 series, that's not a STI gearbox. Now an STI gearbox is more robust. It was designed for hard launches. It was supposed to take like a lot of torque. That's why with an STI you can launch it as much as possible, haitakufa. With the WRX with a 5-speed, yes, you can launch it, it'll launch, but you can't do it as much. If you do it as much, you are prone to breaking it. Even when you're tuning your car, an STI, if you go like 400 horsepower, you can do it with a stock gearbox and you're safe. With the WRX, you have to you have to just change to a 6-speed, bro. You're stuck with danganya. Now, there are different types of 6-speeds. Like for example, the VA, the WRX that went to the US, they came with 6 speeds, but they're not STI 6 speeds. So if it's the TY856, that's the STI 6 speed. Now, assuming this was an, now the thing is, yes, here in Kenya, because this is from Japan, we get cars from Japan. We got the EJ25, but as an airline. Now in the US, they got the same engine, but with the TY856 transmission. That's the 6-speed STI transmission. Now I know one thing ndawambia ni Kenya inaendeshanga gari ni gearbox, si hata engine power, because you have to put the power down. Now with the 6 speeds, you can put the power down perfectly. That's why if you have like an airline and you swap it to a 6-speed, okochonjo. Now I've talked about the engine enough. I don't think there's something else I can add. Now basically what Subaru did, they gave you an option. Kuna WRX, if you want like power, you just want power, you kimbie, but if you want ultimate power, you go for an STI. Now I know you'll ask yourself, now is it worth it to go for an STI? My opinion is yes. Why? Number one, you get a better transmission. Now if it's an airline, yes, okay, if you you don't like, manual is not for everyone, that's just the truth. You can get this, and this transmission holds this power well, huh? But if you want like, now the thing is, if you add power to this car with this transmission, it overheats. Now that's why you have to go 6-speed. That's why that 6-speed is a very good transmission. But basically, if you want more power, you can go for the STI. It's worth it because this engine, when tuned, it can handle way more power than this. This one can handle power, yes, but kiasi chake. So hapa kuna base 1 ultimate. Now sasa kama uko na N14 na ni EJ20, that setup is really good for power and all that. So engine wise, that's the difference between a WRX and an STI. Kuna watu wanasema ndaunda WRX yangu ni mbaya. WRX yangu ni mbaya. Sijui niko na hii, niko na front mode, niko na hii. Now atimenyama, yes, okay, umetune, imekimbia. But sasa that is, unaweza tune yoyote so that you can reach the power of a stock STI. Sasa mtu STI akiamua guze tu kidogo na boost umpati. So that's why you go for an STI. That's just the hard truth. Now that was the WRX. You've had the rumble. Now that was the WRX. You've had the rumble. Isn't like really there, but it has a, iko na sauti yake, you can tell it's a Subaru, but it's not like as, you can say that, hey, that's a Subaru rumble because of equal length, but he has top end and travels out faster, it travels out better. Now that's the WRX. Now let's go to the STI. Now you can hear the rumble is there. Unasikia? Unasikia yo? Now that's what many Subaru people like, and that's why they go for this type of setup, yeah? So hata ma N10s, by the way, you see N10s kwenda mbele zote zikuja equal length, but you find so many people change them to an equal because they want that rumble, but you lose top end. So let me give you a few revs. Guys, here's Sando, utamu wa Subaru. So that's the difference between the two cars, equal and unequal. Next time, you guys share, subscribe, like, and watch out for the next video. Peace.